rhythm on your own. Speak the rhythm all alone. Spoon Man. Spoon Man. Come together with your hands. Save me. Lock together with your plans. Save me. All my friends are Indians. This song doesn't age very well. Spoon Man. All my friends are skeletons and beat the rhythms with their bones. Spoon Man. Whoa. Spoon Man. Come together with your plans. Save me. Lie together with your plans. Save me. Whoa.
Justin.
What?
Justin.
What?
I think this started. You timed it wrong. We're actually live now.
Oh, we're live? Okay.
Yeah, like right now. You played into it. You played over it.
Sorry.
It was pretty awesome, but
Welcome
I mean...
to the One Up Weekly
Live.
Yeah. What's going on, Ralph?
All right.
Oh my God, you
Dude.
changed to your Toy Shark shirt? Dude, no. I'm wearing
I know, actually, the funny thing is I told him I was going to change my shirt real quick, and then I came back, and I'm like, oh, you changed too, and he's wearing the Toy Shark shirt, which is pretty awesome.
Great. Well, you know why? Because Well Played is now become the new Toy Shark. There we go. Boom.
well, maybe. They might. Well, that's the thing. It's to be determined, right? They might. So I feel like we have a lot of stuff to talk about because we were tracking the MVSX because that's a new product that entered the market from Unico, and then it got sent to basically every content creator in this small little nichey, 3/4 scale space. But it recently made its way to Bob over at Retro RGB, which I thought was really interesting.
Yep.
Because he's really deep in making sure that some of the retro games that we're buying don't have tons of input lag or latency or things that would kind of make them not pleasurable experiences. Things that sometimes we don't think about, but might be the reason why you don't like a product, right? I mean, I remember you and I were talking about how we'd be playing like Sonic or something like that on like a crappy Sega clone, and it's like, how come I can't stay on the you can't time things right?
That's right. I was talking to Bob about it. In fact, he was mentioning that the MBSX has better, less lag, or it's a better emulator than the Sega Genesis Mini. He specifically mentioned that one because he was saying that the problem with the Sega Genesis Mini is it has variable lag. So if you have a very consistent lag, maybe it's 1 or 2 frames or, like 30 milliseconds or so, and you're trying to do a move, you're trying to get away from an enemy, you can kind of get used to it and you'll just play a little bit longer and you'll adapt. So it's not a big deal. There is a certain point where the lag is so bad, it's not worth playing. But then there's variable lag. And I think you were telling me when you got the Sega Genesis Mini, you were playing Sonic and it didn't feel right because you were trying to do a certain attack.
It was this one part, I can't remember what stage it's in, but you're kind of like having to jump on these platforms, and then like if you fall off, you fall all the way to the bottom. You don't die, but you have to go back and do it again. And Kim and I were doing it over and over and over, and I'm like, I asked her for a second. I'm like, Kim, I know that I don't usually get stuck at this part this early in the game, and she's like, neither do I. It's been a while, but I don't either. And then I went and grabbed. Well, the funny thing is, I went and grabbed the At Games version 2 of their Genesis thing, and we had no problem doing it on that. So. But they use like a Pico emulator, and it's a common Genesis emulator. But anyways, I digress.
Bob did a really good review of the MBSX, so we want to make sure you check that out because he added a lot of details that a lot of the reviewers, including ourselves, didn't have. He brought in Beast, which is a friend of his that's this champion in fighting games, and so they said, "Hey, what do you think of it?" And well, I'm not going to spoil it, but go check it out. It's filled with a lot of information, and it's
Definitely
cool that we have someone like Bob to do a review in the home arcade space. This is the first time we've had someone who really goes down into tech. I mean, he spent a lot of money on lag testing equipment, so it's really cool to have someone like him who's produced, I don't know, countless videos on, deconstructing devices and understanding how it works. So it was really cool to see him do a review on something in this space.
Yeah. Hey, so really quick, had a bachelor $2 super chat. Thanks, buddy. He said his internet service provider is care of Zohar. That I'm guessing that's bad. Like it's not good. But so Dominic said he just joined the membership family. I'll take a 2-second break to say that this is something we enabled. We didn't really make a huge deal about it, or we didn't even announce it. This is the first time we're making mention of it. So there is a join button now. And yeah, so if you feel like contributing to the channel, obviously we would love that, but there's no obligation to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
And Justin and I are working on, we're gonna do a couple of. We didn't come up with a frequency yet, but right now I think it's going to be as one a month right now, but we'll probably do more eventually. But we'll do one a month streams, which are just members only streams. So that'll be kind of cool because there might be topics we'd hit on that it's a smaller group, right? So we can be even more intimate with everyone that watches the channel. So I'm looking forward to that building up and growing and seeing what that might turn into. Because I'm sure during those little sessions, people will share a lot, and
and then we can talk about anything we want because like nobody's around, and we'll be like, let's get into it.
And those go away after, right? Will those go away after?
I don't know. Whatever.
All right. Okay. All right. They don't self-destruct, do they? Okay.
Well, let's talk about. We have a couple topics that we wanted to get into. Where do you want to start, Ralph? I think we should do the well played, right?
Yeah, I think, pinball seems to be on everyone's mind right now, so I think it'd be a good place to start if you guys are cool with that.
Yeah, so the well.
Oh, How to Bachelor just joined too. Thanks, buddy.
Cool, man.
He's another new member. Queet. Sweet. Queet?
Queet. New word. Everyone make fun of Ralph with queet. That's the new thing.
It's supposed to be sweet, but it's queet. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So it's anytime you say queet, everyone is, remember that Pee-wee Herman's Big Adventure? Or no, the show, it's like he runs around screaming. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about well played. We wanted to talk first about the tabletop arcade because I thought maybe that the well played arcade. By the way, there's a little pun in there, right? I see what you're doing. Well played. You come out with a pinball machine before Arcade 1-Up and At Games, even though we're totally anticipating it. Well played. Well played. Well played.
That's a good one. I like that.
I think you can do it 3 times. Well played. Well played. Well played. Anyway, so check this out. So this one's only $150. It's a tabletop, but Ralph wants to show you that it kind of looks something familiar to him. What is that, Ralph?
Well, if you scroll down below first to get those specs out, because it has those specs that talk a little bit about it, and then we'll scroll back up. So it says it's got a 9-inch screen, right? It says Linux system with built-in emulator. Then it says supports 10,000 plus games. They're like, bam, we're not 1 game or 2 games. We're 10,000 games.
Now, about that, there was someone who commented on my video who was saying maybe this is just an Android device and they're going to give you access to the Android App Store. So technically 10,000 games could be added via that. But we have a different theory.
Yes, I don't think it's that. But yeah, so it does say on there, it does say the unit's preloaded with 5 games. And then it says, why? I think it's funny because it says, why choose only 5? You can download 10,000. Right. So the way this looks, unless I'm wrong, I definitely could be, right? The way this looks,
it does say it's almost endless. You can download all your favorite game, almost endless. Okay. Anyway,
yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm not saying that it's 100% this, but if you look at the menu system and you kind of, if that's really it.
So we're going to show you the menu system for a second. So notice I'm going to describe it. So we have a column of games on the left, and on the right-hand side is a little maybe 16:9 thumbnail.
Like
on the
game preview screen.
A game preview screen. Okay. So what does that look like, Ralph?
That literally looks exactly identical to a Pandora's Box menu screen. I mean, it looks exactly the same as a Pandora's Box UI.
Let's see. Like this one a little bit. Just give it a second to come in. So on the left-hand side, there's the column of games. On the right-hand side, there's the preview thumbnail.
Yeah, so now keep in mind, you can download games from this with this store that it has that's completely shady. I'm not suggesting that that's what they're doing. But
the naughty store, huh?
Yeah, the naughty store, as Wicked would call it. But yeah, it looks very similar. So I was trying to find the exact one it looked like. It wasn't actually the Pandora Saga 3D. I think it was the Pandora Key 7 3D. But regardless of that, it looks very similar. So it'd be interesting to see because it says downloadable, So that's where it trips me up a little bit because
I'm gonna
Pandora's
turn this
box
off
is
so we don't
yeah.
don't confuse people, right? Like we're talking about a is it Pandora box or Pandora's box? We always say a
Pandora's
Pandora's
box.
box, but
Yeah,
it's
Pandora's box.
written Pandora box. But maybe that's a language thing. But anyway, sorry to interrupt you, Ralph. But the whole idea is what you're seeing down below us is not the well played machine. It's a Pandora's box, and
Yeah. So I
maybe.
mean, what?
So here's the idea. What is it? Is it they called up the manufacturer? Let's see. Like, let's say I'm well played. Hey, Pandora's manufacturer, you there? I got a
Hey.
couple questions for you.
Hey, how's it going?
That's what you sound like? Okay,
No,
sounds
wait.
good.
What would I sound like? All right, I'll just be my typical Italian guy. Yeah, Johnny, how you doing?
So, check this out. I got to deal with GameStop, right? They
Okay.
agreed to resell a whole bunch of tabletop machines, and
Mhm.
I'm going to different manufacturers. And you seem to be the popular one because you sell the Pandora's box, and a lot of people buy that, right?
Yeah, I mean, we got lots of Pandora's boxes. I'll give you a quick example.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we sell them, we were selling them like this, which is these, it actually is kind of a box in a way. But what we do is we package these in different formats. You see, we do it in a fight stick where say I put this in a fight stick, right? And the thing is, so what I've been doing lately is I drop ship these into the US, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I take all the games off of them. And then I fold this little like shady little note in here, and it tells you the website to go to, and then bada bing, 10,000 games. You know what I mean?
That's weird.
Yeah, it's not 10,000, but it's maybe like 4,000.
Because see, I'm selling them with GameStop, and I think they
Oh,
might get
so
upset that we're supporting that.
So we gotta fly under the radar, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So,
I like that. I like
is
that
there
guy.
any way it could come with like 5 games, and I'll work with some, publisher?
I mean, people love games, but so here's what I can do for you. So what we'll do, this is what we're gonna do. See the little SD or the USB stick here?
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ship this with you. If you want to go with me, all right. If you want to go with me, what we do is normally we would have like 4,000 or 5,000 games. What we're gonna do, we'll strip this of all its games. You figure out if you can fork up some money for licensing. I mean, we don't really care about licensing, to be honest. We don't license anything. It's all free, right? So, so if you want, pick 5 games that you think are, acceptable. We'll preload the 5 games. Don't worry about the licenses. We don't care about that. So if you want to deal with that, it's fine. But if you're buying from me, you're buying this box with the games on it, and we'll deliver that to you. And we can put it in a bar top, no problem. We put them in bar tops all the time. Go to AliExpress, you will find thousands of these things.
Okay,
that's
so
all my stuff.
Need it in a bar top, but how am I going to tell a whole bunch of people in the United States, that I know what I could do? I could probably call up a couple of YouTubers that like do podcasts every Sunday and tell them like, go ahead and tell everyone to buy this for $150 because you could totally sideload a whole bunch of games on it. Maybe that would work.
Oh yeah, guy. I'm all about the side load, guy. This is all about side load. And don't kid yourself. This thing's pretty powerful too, guy. I can do all the way up to PS1. You like Crash Bandicoot?
I love Crash Bandicoot.
You're a big fan, huh?
Yeah.
Do you think the people that would buy a product like Crash Bandicoot?
Absolutely.
You're going to be able to give them Crash without giving them Crash, if you know what I mean. Yeah, you're not giving them Crash, but you're giving them Crash. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, guy.
All right, let's just not tell GameStop about this, all right?
Yeah, hey, guy. All I'm doing, I'm sending you a system with 5 crappy games. What you do with it and what they do with it is on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're living in the gray. Area.
I think we can get away with it.
I think we should do it.
Let's do it.
We sell these all day. You know what's cool about this?
What's that?
2 weeks from now, you can release the Well Played Games Bar Top 2, which then will go from the Pandora's Box 3D to the Pandora's.
To get them to really buy it, is there any way we could like make them different? How would we make them different?
Oh, well, what we typically do is we actually take features that people like and we break them in the next release, and then we give them like 2 more things that they actually like. But then because I don't really allow for firmware updates,
because I'm going to want to sell a third one.
Oh, yeah, no problem, guy. You'll have version 1, 2, and 3. 2 will be crappier than the first, but we'll add some features that will make people buy it.
Nice.
And then the third one, we might fix it all in the third one, but we'll break another thing that people really like.
We can just keep
Makes sense, right? It's a good business model, right?
Yeah. $150.
Yeah, now, kid, It's one thing I got to talk to you about, and I'm looking you straight in the eye right now.
Okay, I'm looking at you, man.
Are you
What's
looking at
going
me?
on?
Okay, there's this guy,
This Zoom call
and
is
he's
really
getting under
weird.
my. No, there's this guy who's getting under my skin right now.
Oh, I don't
And
want that.
he's this guy. He's this guy over at At Games, okay? Now he's
Whoa.
trying to release a board with 20, I think it's 20 games. Now
20?
they're crappy games too. So I'm gonna give you this 5 thing with crappy games. He's gonna give you one with 20 crappy games, okay?
Okay.
But he's got this whole thing he calls an ecosystem. It's all
Oh.
magical, and you can download all this stuff.
Do we need an ecosystem?
No ecosystem.
Why
No.
not?
Because then they only buy one. You need them to buy more, right?
I got it.
Right?
I like
You
the
see what I'm
Pandora's
saying
Box
here?
business plan.
Yes, the Pandora's Box business plan is all
I
about the
think-
money, baby.
I think I'm gonna do the Pandora's Box business plan,
I knew I liked you, kid.
dude. You know
I
what we
knew I
should
liked
ca-
you.
You know what we should call it? Well played, because we're playing.
Hey,
the
it's like a
audience.
private joke. Yeah, they
it's a
think it's
private
well
joke.
played, and we're playing them. I like it. I like you, well played. All right, buddy.
All right, well,
let's do this. We'll do
really
the deal.
appreciate it. Cool.
I'll send over a PDF. You can sign off your life, or the contract,
Sure.
and then we'll be good to go. Yeah. So
sounds
just
good.
know, we'll have to decide which ones of these we're going to use because like I said, one is better than the other, and then there's like ones that are broken, and then I add additional features. So we play around with it, but we'll get you the right package here for
All
sure.
right,
For sure.
All right, so that's what it looks like. Very good.
Yeah, but you want to see something awesome that it does? I mean, this
do
is
wanna
like
see it, but I kind of
don't-
wanted to turn this off, and then all of a sudden we'd be on a call with this. Never mind. Go ahead.
I'll show you. This really cool thing that it does. Here, put it back on. Put it back on. This is
What
the
is
thing that we're not going to tell anybody that it does.
Okay,
Okay,
what is it?
You got to be
Don't
quiet
tell
about
anybody.
this, all right?
Okay, what is it?
So we'll go down here.
Yeah.
You see this thing right here, guy?
Yeah.
It says enter game market.
Oh,
This is where it gets really interesting for some people.
I'm
So
really
let's go with-
excited. What's in there?
Oh,
A black screen? That's
Yeah,
that looks
guy.
really pretty.
yeah, you can download all the
I
games
have
from in
one
here.
question. Why doesn't the rest of the app look this cool?
Well, because then
Is
that would go
this-
against the business model. This
is
is what I'm
this-
talking about.
Is this opening Pandora's box?
Hey, this is what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So yeah.
I'm
All right. So
talking quiet
I've already
because
showed you
we
too much.
Gotta keep it a secret.
Yeah, I already showed you too much. But the naughty
Okay.
store is what that guy Wicked Gamer calls it. That's not our official name. We don't even call it anything because we don't really advertise that it's there. So you'll have this too, where they can download games for free. So there you go.
Sweet.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's awesome. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, kid.
All
All right. All right.
Okay, we're breaking character now. That was kind of fun. See, I love
Okay,
doing that
so-
because Ralph Ralph didn't see that coming and he jumped right into it. That was good.
So I'd like to
Thanks
say
for
that,
playing
Justin-
along with me, Ralph.
We got like a zillion members here. And I want to say, thank you for that. There's like a bunch of people that joined, so that's awesome.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
So I'm not. So honestly, we're just joking around. This
Yeah.
thing is new. It's a bar
Everything
top.
we just
It does.
did right there was just comedy. We're not actually calling out well played.
Yeah, no.
And if well played is watching right now, sorry, we're just having fun. We mark this as entertainment, not gaming. So
Yeah. So obviously that bar top does look familiar from the interface. Who knows? Maybe it's just like a mock up or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we haven't seen a bar top for 150 that you can sideload games on. It's a small bar top. It's like 8-inch screen, I think is what it said, right? Was it 8 or 9? I think was it 8 or 9? 9-inch screen. So yeah, could be kind of cool for someone that doesn't have a lot of space. But I am gonna order one, so
Yeah,
I will do a
same
review on it.
I think
and we'll see how it
$150 is enough, at least for Ralph and I, to be like, all right, well, let's check this out, right? Let's check and see what it's like. If you guys are on the fence, wait for the review. The one good thing about it, Ralph and I were talking about before, what would be the difference if you went to AliExpress and found one for like maybe $130 that
Mhm.
looks nearly the same as the one on Well Played? Why would you get the Well Played one instead?
Well, the thing is, it does say on there that it's going to have downloadable content. So you're right. It could be that it is just has access to the Android store or some kind of store that they create themselves. I just feel like for 150 in a company we haven't really heard of before, for them to have an elaborate store would be kind of crazy. But if they do, it could be a lot cooler than we think. Maybe it'll be games you can buy yourself. Now, the Pandora's box, obviously, it comes with like 4,000 games, 3,000 games, sometimes 2,000, depending on the model. And those games are not licensed games. And typically your experience is, it's okay, right? Because it's going to stretch a lot of them. Unless you're using the only thing that really makes these more I don't know, acceptable to the retro gamer to me is the VGA port. So if you go
Mhm,
VGA out,
mhm.
you can get 4:3 out of it. It doesn't stretch the image.
Yeah.
Any of their high def upscaling stuff automatically stretches it. So
So
this,
that
yeah.
wasn't what I was going for, but I think that it was extremely informative. Very good. So what I was thinking is the reason why you would get the well played version for $150 is it's free shipping.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because stuff from AliExpress is super expensive.
Yeah. So if it ends up being basically a Pandora's box shipped from China, almost, barely, they put custom artwork on it. Going with that, you're gonna save money on the shipping.
Yeah,
So
and we know GameStop, dude. We know, like, in the past, actually, I don't know if it's a GameStop problem or if it's been an Arcade One Up problem, but it always seems like when stuff hits GameStop, the descriptions aren't always accurate. So it could say downloadable content, but might not even have that. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they're more on top of their marketing stuff, but we got to go through some of these. We had a bunch of super chats. I want to make sure we get them really quick. The collector zone said it would be funny if once you open it up, it found out it had a pie running on it. I know that would be interesting, right? That would
that's
be
right.
pretty funny, actually. Um, Clement, I think, if it runs Dragon's Lair, I'm gonna get one. Yeah, who knows? That's we be completely make. Oh, Stringer, thanks for joining as a member. We've got Grandma's Dirty Socks, Grandma's Dirty
Dirty
Socks.
socks.
I almost said that Grandma did something different than that. A 9-inch screen is just too much like a toy. At least Pandora's box you hook up to a big screen. That's true. But they do have a lot of Pandora's box bar tops. I've reviewed several of them. I even
Hmm.
played one with Kim. The one I played with her was really cool. We can talk about that maybe in a little bit.
Hmm.
And then let's see what else we got here. Stringer says, and I'm also a client. Here's another $2. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Hopefully we didn't miss any other super chats. Justin is still building that tool, but I promise he's going to get to it. He's going to get to it for sure. So
Yeah,
I feel like, Justin, we got to figure out. It's been you and I went to CES together and we had an awesome time, right?
we're
Like
gonna
we
have
had so
that
much
episode
fun.
again. We're talking about CES. Come
No,
on, we got
no,
to move
no, because
on from that.
I'm going back to the pinball, right? Like
Oh, okay,
that's where
okay,
we that's where we
yeah,
where we
yeah,
got to see the actual arcade one up pinball. And we were pretty excited about it, right? I mean, you couldn't necessarily play it, but you were excited, right? I mean,
dude. Anything with Star Wars on it's gonna make me look again. And then the moment I showed it to my daughter, pictures of it, she's like, "Yeah, we have to get that." And I thought maybe over this year, because it has been a while, and other items have come up, and I've talked about buying this or buying that. The Star Wars pinball still stays. It's like
yeah,
she
yeah.
absolutely wants that, and I told her about this well played. She's like, "Nope, Star Wars." Well, what about at games? You can do this, do this. Nope, Star Wars. Like, what if it isn't as good? Don't care. Want Star Wars.
Well, and you got to think about it, right? We had the two companies that are people are patiently waiting for on the virtual pinball would be At Games and Arcade One Up.
Yeah,
But the
absolutely.
but it, but the weird thing was is Toy Shark Shock. I always say I don't even know what the real name of the company is anymore. I think it should be
Nobody knows
Shark.
anymore.
But so Toy Shock was the first one, kind of came out of nowhere, which was weird. And then you said it, you and I were talking about it today. They had issues, right? Like some of
Right.
those issues were frame rate issues and things like that, right? Where they weren't running at full speed.
Right. Well, you bought one and you played, and I played one at CES, and I kind of played what was there. It had like slightly different firmware on it, and I don't know, it just wasn't exciting. And it just kind of, I don't know, this could be a bias that I have because I wasn't really interested in it. But when I kind of look at the home arcade, uh, people that are making videos, people that are discussing things on Facebook and Reddit, it's not really something people talk about. I even see people talk about, man, all the pinball that's out there, arcade one up and Yak games. When is it going to come out? It seems like Toy Shock is not even mentioned in the list. Like even when I'm thinking about it, I forget. I'm like, oh man, there's all these options, right? There's like I made the thumbnail today and I didn't even put Toy Shock on there because I forgot. Like, oh that's right. They made one too, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it became a little forgettable because I think they did a couple things wrong, right? They picked a bunch of Gottlieb titles, which were not probably going to pull on the heartstrings of like the 30, 40 something because they wouldn't have played those games. Most of them wouldn't have, or they wouldn't have been that impactful because pinball is interesting. I feel like pinball games that draw people in, even back then, were like movies, music, like they're very pop culture in
Yep.
nature. I feel like pinball machines they kind of like pull on pop culture and they make these awesome tables based on that. So the number one, it didn't have the impact when it comes to what they chose for the titles. The artwork wasn't impactful, right? Although Haunted House looked cool, and then they had technical issues. So like it
Right.
really had a bunch of strikes against it. So I think that's why it really didn't make a big splash. But kind of funny that we find ourselves in a space where now another one comes in who's not
Right.
a major player really out of the two that we're going to call the major ones, and now they
Right.
have one before those two do.
I
So it's
think
kind of
there could
crazy.
be a reason why At Games and Arcade One Up has announced or released theirs. It's probably really hard to get this right. And so think of Toy Shock, right? They came out there. I don't think they've sold very many of them. And you look at
I
Arcade
don't
One
think
Up,
so
they've
either.
sold millions of cabinets, and At Games is clearly number two with the number of cabinets sold, and then everyone else has got to be really low, right? So each one of those, there's a lot. It would be super easy for Arcade One Up and At Games to make a huge mistake on pinball. Like
Yeah.
all it takes is a couple mistakes and you're dead.
Well, and
Like
a
that's it.
technical and one
That's
technical issue. You
absolutely.
have one technical issue like the force feedback doesn't work well,
Yep.
or the plunger, like let's say the plunger is because that's going to have to be pretty precise, right? If you're going to
Hmm.
take something that's analog and map it to the digital world, when I pull that plunger back, if it's like all janky and like it's skipping and it doesn't seem smooth, that whole effect of that even being a gimmick, right? It's a little gimmicky. It's like,
Sure.
oh, I want to reproduce that experience, but if it is choppy or not smooth, then that ruins it for the person using it, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
and
it
that's the
gives a
thing.
bad feeling about the whole technology.
Yeah, virtual pinball is a super expensive hobby, right? So they're taking this hobby that's super expensive. People are used to paying thousands of dollars to try to recreate that experience because they can have many tables in a single space. Try to bring that into home arcade world. This market is very interesting. Like for example, I still need to reach out to the guy, but there's a guy in Des Moines. His name is Des Moines Arcades, and I reached out to him. I said he's building a home arcade unit, but all his stuff is super high quality, very custom, and his product price is like 6.99, 7.99. And I was like, and I want to tell him, I was like, well, we could probably cover your stuff. He lives in Des Moines, so I can get a review unit of it. But it'd be really hard. I don't even know if the home arcade market would be interested in it because it's really expensive. It only comes with one game. I think there's a space for it. There's a market for that. He could sell tons of those and make a good living off of that because he makes
Yeah.
custom arcades and it's really cool. But this home arcade market, that $500 price point is super important. Anyway, my point is virtual pinball is super expensive. Mike is always talking about it like it's. I don't think he thinks it's gonna work.
So here's one thing that's really interesting. This comment, I'm gonna sort of like go a different direction with this comment. I think we've talked about this before on the show, but I want to make this really clear here. It says, I don't think Arcade One Up really cares. They will release it and they will sell it just like the other machines with issues. I would normally agree with you, but I'll tell you, Daniel, why I don't on this one. Because Arcade One Up, the company that has the most skin in the game here is Zen Studios. So they've partnered with Zen to build this. Zen has a good reputation in virtual pinball. People love the tables, and they've gone great lengths to license some really big properties, right? You're talking Marvel, you're talking Star Wars, you've got
Hmm.
Universal with Back to the Futures and Jaws. So they take a lot of effort to do that, but they don't sell at-home pinball machines. So they're like putting their stamp on something that's going to go into people's homes. So it's kind of like when Arcade One Up and Justin and I talk about this all the time. When they work with Code Mystics, they're like, Code Mystics' name is on that too. Star Wars better not suck. Code Mystics' name is on that too. NBA Jam better not suck. And we've noticed a pattern. None of those games suck when they partner with a big company that's like they have skin in the game too. And I don't think this one's going to be anything. I think it's exactly the same. Zen is going to make sure that this thing works well. I really
Yeah,
do. I think they have to.
yeah, and here's the thing: a lot of us think that there's delays. Maybe there's delays on the arcade one at pinball, but when we were at CES, I pulled David aside. I said, "When do you think it's going to be?" And he kept on saying the common talk track that he said to everyone. People, we'd walk around and he would like, when's the pinball coming out? And he would say, maybe by Father's Day, maybe by end of year holiday. And when everyone was like away, I was like, hey David, so when's it really coming out? He goes, it's Christmas. It's Christmas. It's end of year, you know. And so,
By the way,
and
this comment's completely accurate. Zen's doing most of the work, and Arcade One Up's just putting their name on that. I 100% agree.
yeah, if you look at it, talking about Zen for a second, Zen was gonna release their own arcade. Remember? I think it was E3 2019. We saw what's his name? The guy that always does. He's like kind of face of Zen.
Oh, Mel
Yeah,
Kirk.
Mel. Yeah, so Mel Kirk. He's on YouTube. There's a video of him showing off their like home arcade pinball.
Hmm.
But I think the Arcade One Up partnership replaced that. I believe. Because I don't think there's a Zen pinball. It kind of makes sense because then they'd be kind of competing with their partnership. But anyway, here's the thing: they were hoping they could probably come out with a pinball near Father's Day if everything went perfect. If just everything went perfect, maybe they could have done it. But the moment they missed Father's Day, I bet it was actually a relief to them because
Probably.
they always, if you look at it, it's been like this for 2 years. They always like release during these holiday periods, probably because they're a toy company, right? And toy companies do that. And so if it's not Father's Day, it's going to be the end of year. It's going to be the holiday season, which means they're going to try to get it out pre-order by Black Friday, which means you cut that back, December, end of November. It's probably going to be announced the first or second week of November because you can take all that time in the summer to make
I
it
think
better.
Zen is here. Zen
What?
Pinball themselves are here. No,
What
they're
are you
not.
talking
They're
about?
not. No, I think Zen is joking because he's like
I'll
saying,
make
you're
sure
talking like I'm
everything's
not
perfect.
even here. He's like you're talking like he is. Zen is here. We could just ask Zen themselves. So I kind of had this. All right, so we kind of know where we kind of feel like we have a good grasp as to where we think Arcade One Up's at, right? We got Zen who's doing the final prototype testing, and they're still saying it's going to be out before the end of the year.
Right.
I have a lot of, and I know that I do a lot of coverage, and Justin and I both do of Arcade One Up, but I have a lot of confidence in Zen. I think if Arcade One Up was making it themselves, they would be all over the place. They don't know how to do this, but I think but by the fact that their strategy has always been go find someone that can do it really well, and that's who we'll partner with. Someone did ask in the chat, and I'm sorry I missed it. Someone said, "Who made Golden Axe?" I actually don't know. I don't know if Golden Axe was Code Mystics. If anyone owns the
No, it
cabinet and you
wasn't.
power it up, you
I
don't think it
remember.
was?
No, I remember because we were talking to John D when we were at CES and we were talking about NBA Jam. Had the you could toggle. We loved the menu of the NBA Jam. You could toggle on and off scan lines, right? At
Yep.
CES, and then
But you can toggle them on and off on Golden Axe too. I'm
yeah,
almost
but when we were
positive.
there, there wasn't. We couldn't access the menu. We were asking if there was more features, and so we thought, hey, is it going to be Wi-Fi enabled? And John's like, no, no, no. Golden Axe is not Wi-Fi enabled. We're like, oh, did Code Mystics do it? And he's like, no, they didn't. They didn't do Golden Axe.
Um. Oh, someone Zero Hero says there's a review on YouTube. It's Code Mystics. I didn't know that. He's saying that. So someone might maybe on the splash screen, someone saw Code Mystics pop up. That's news to me. If that's the case, then that's awesome. That's probably why that no one's complaining about anything about that cabinet. So far, I've heard nothing but good things.
Which one?
On which one?
You're talking about
Golden
Golden
Axe.
Axe? Oh,
Yeah. Zero
I
Hero
must have
said
been
it.
wrong.
I'll pull it up in a second. So
Cool.
GameStop, $5 super chat. Thanks, buddy. Also, thanks for being a member. He said, was the One Up Weekly Club created to support Ralph's addiction, asking for a friend? No. No, it was not. Natalie had a good thing. She said, any idea what hardware will be in the Arcade One Up pinball? Natalie, that's like the $1 million question, because when we were at CS, it was like Justin and I remember, dude, you and I tried to get close to the back and take pictures through the vent holes, and they were like, no, 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 no. Like, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
I think there was a
whatever,
PC in there or
yeah,
something.
whatever was running in there was just to like it was the development software maybe. I think
Because remember,
because they
we
did
were
have
like,
everything
we
working.
did look behind there, and they had one of those LVDS HDMI to LVDS
Yeah,
converters for the back screen,
for the back glass, yeah, or for
right?
the
But it was all
BMP.
like kind of taped up, and it was
Yeah,
clearly just a prototype. What do we know? Well, nothing certain because John told us some details, but it was a lot of like we don't know for sure if that's what we'll go with because they're trying to hit that $500 mark. So as their product developing it, they have to add a little money into this area or add a little money into that area. So they may move around. But it was going to be Android based. I think that's about all we really knew, right?
yeah. I mean, the cool thing is, I talked to John a little bit on the back end, like just privately, and stuff that he was telling me, it wasn't stuff he hasn't said in public. It's just was kind of a consolidated conversation.
Mhm.
And the one thing that Zen was like really, really fixated on was making sure that they can squeak out as much as they can from whatever they never disclosed what the hardware was, because it might be their, I don't think it's their Gen 3, but maybe it is, but whatever. Let's just say it's whatever Arcade One Up provided. He said they're trying to squeak out as much as possible. And the challenges that they're going to have, or the biggest challenges, was they need to ensure that it runs at 60 frames per second, and if there's any bit of deviation in that, it doesn't dip between some percentage, because as soon as you start getting into that like lower percentage frames per second, what it looks like to you from a virtual pinball perspective is floaty. I was gonna say floaty balls, but that's what it looks like. It looks like your ball is floating, and it doesn't seem real. It really ruins it. It completely destroys it, and that's how I felt when I played Toy Shock. I was like, the ball's like floating
Right.
down. It wasn't fast.
So real quick, just so that we have coverage on this video, I do want to show, for those that don't know, Well Played also, because we haven't talked about it really. They have a Well Played arcade video pinball machine. It's $500, likely to be priced, I believe, at that same price. We don't know exactly, but Arcade One Up said they're targeting $500 for their pinball machine. This one, it looks like it's gonna, has this, it leans, so that's what makes it different. But a lot of people already like commenting on my video or that they don't like the artwork,
Well, the
and
artwork's
they're
really
concerned
ugly
about,
in my opinion, but
exactly what it's going to come with. I don't really think there's anything interesting about this topic.
I'd say the
Uh,
only thing that you could glean from this, if you
hmm
wanted to like read between the lines and context clues, is
hmm
there's three major, one, two, three. There's three major companies that do virtual pinball, that are out there that are like the bigger ones. It's just, you
hmm
got Zen, you got Farsight Studios, and you have the Italian company, which I can't remember the name of right now. Why can't I think of the name of it right now?
I don't know. What is the
All
one that
right.
starts with a Z? Zaccario or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. So you got the Italian company. So you got, so you figure, just basic breakdown:
Wait,
Zen,
so
Arcade
I
One
think
Up.
Johnny works for them in that case, right?
He probably does.
Yeah.
So you got so you got Zen Arcade One Up. You
Hey
got
guys,
Farsight Studios, Farsight Studios at Games. You have Farsight Studios Gottlieb Toy
Toy
Shock,
Shark.
because you haven't seen him do anything but Toy Shock.
That's right.
And then you have, which Farsight Studios I think is in desperate need of money, so I wouldn't be surprised if they'd partner with everybody. And
hmm
then you got, yeah, try to find some facts on that. You're not gonna find that was me just pulling out of my butt. Then you got the Italian company, so that's probably who it is. It's them. But so you're not gonna. There's gonna be no. If it's them, then their catalog of games is all like originals. There's not like a whole lot of their get titles that are gonna sort of grab at your heartstrings whatsoever. But doesn't mean it's bad. It's just different, and maybe that's why they get to market faster, right?
hmm
Farsight has to deal with licenses much larger, and so does Zen. So maybe that's why, right? Maybe that's why these other companies can bust these things out
That's
so
right.
quickly.
Maybe.
All
Also,
right, so we got a bunch of
I
super chats here too.
real quick, there was I made a video today and I totally overlooked this. And I remember kind of looking at it going, maybe it really is that company. And I was like, yeah, I don't really care because that looks really weird and $600 and I don't have any clue
Th-
where I'd put that in my house. But if you guys are into it, go for it. But it's
So okay, want to
Wi-Fi.
want
It's
to want to
probably
say
Android
something? Want to
24
come up with
inch.
a prediction though?
What's that? Yeah.
I bet Arcade One Up's price point's the same as that.
Mm. Yeah, but wait. Here's my question. Does it really come with the stand too?
Guy, you're getting wood.
You get they're
No, this one
selling
is a
all of
coffee.
that?
This one is a coffee table. Yeah,
Like you're buying the coffee table
I'm
too.
pretty positive this one is a coffee table. But the funny thing is, I pulled up
Really
another
weird.
picture online. No, but I pulled up another picture online. And it didn't look like that. The color wasn't that. It was like kind of a um, what would you call like a darker wood color, like a mocha or something? It looked like
Yeah.
a darker wood color. It didn't look like that. So I think maybe that picture's a bad picture, but that kind of looks like grandma's coffee table a little bit.
Yeah. It's so crazy because, like, I don't know, a 24-inch gaming computer, how much is that? $200, $400, somewhere in that price range?
Justin, I feel like this is just specific to people that like this kind of stuff. Like to me, the gaming tables, like you're big into board games, and so you're gonna love it. Like it's cool to you because you love
No, no, no,
board
no.
games so
So,
much.
to talk about that, the Infinity table that Arcade One Up is coming out with, for those of you who don't know about that, the reason why that's really cool. Let's cover that really quick. I got like a
Okay, and I got to get
one
to some chats
one
here. I have
minute. Go
like
for it. I'll look it up. Okay.
okay, So Garage Gamer verified that there is a menu in the Golden Axe for all that stuff, and then I think it was Zero Hero. He said it looked like it was Code Mystics based on videos he saw online. I don't own one, so
That's
I
cool.
can't confirm that myself, but we'll call that confirmation. And then Stringer Films said he has $500 burning in his hole in his pocket. So he wants the arcade one up to hurry up. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. Then there was a couple of supers down here that I missed. So Matt said some more bucks for you guys. Thanks. Appreciate that, buddy. And then we've got Zen, not to be confused with Zen Studios, but he says, you guys are awesome. I love the channel and content. There's no way I can't send love for bringing me up. I'm too old to know what all that means. What's RO rolling on the floor laughing my ass off? Yes.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
Yes.
So coming back to the infinity table, the reason why I think this is pretty awesome. I when I first saw it, I was like, no, this is dumb. Like for me, I'm a type of person. We have a lot of what are they called? Board games. A closet full of them, right? So would I want to go digital? And I talked to my wife. She's like, no, that's stupid. But then I saw. Here's the thing. Imagine, and this is weird, but imagine you had all the money in the world, right? So you buy one of these, and then you buy one for your parents, you buy one for your brother, and you buy one for your cousin, and then you all play some game online through this. You're all at your own like table, dining room table, but you're like playing, I don't know, whatever fun board game. That's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
I don't know if it, like in my mind, this is one of the things again, where like in my mind, that's really cool, but that means like, I don't think my parents or my brother or my cousin's going to buy one, or my former roommate. I don't think they're going to buy one. So like, who am I going to play with? I don't want to play with strangers, but like, I guess if like Ralph bought one and I bought one, like my wife and your now wife, congratulations, by the way, we could all like play like
Thank
we're
you.
a family, and that's kind of cool. Or I could just get an iPad and we can like download Monopoly and play Monopoly online. But anyway, Infinity Tables, that's the one thing that I think is cool about it.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I'm not a wicked big board game person, but I can see especially like
he gets bored with board games.
Huh?
You get bored with board games?
No, I don't. But I think there's something to be said about families being more dispersed. Like technically, my family's all in Rhode Island, and if I want to go see them, Justin, like I have to actually. What?
I'm trying to learn how to point. Go ahead. Your friends are your family's in Rhode Island, so you're trying to figure
right now.
out.
If I want to travel there, they're one of the states that says if you're coming from Arizona, if you travel there, you got to quarantine for 14 days.
Not
so
like
it's like
the Arizonians, huh?
Well, they saw our cases of COVID spike, so they made that rule.
Oh,
now
I thought they just didn't like you.
Maybe they don't. I don't know. Maybe they don't. Who knows?
You're like, Ralph, 14 days.
I was defending myself. They're like, oh, he's coming. Let's just say 14, and then he won't actually come. So Stringer says, so you're saying the toy shark balls are in flux. I don't even know what that means. But thank you. How to Bachelor says, GameStop Flux shirt inbound. Is there actually a Flux shirt? We have to go look at GameStop. I bet there's a new shirt. There must be a new shirt because I don't know what he's talking about. So for those of you who are new to the channel, a fan went and created a whole website. We made a joke. This is really hard to explain the joke, but basically, how do we explain that joke? MVSX, the MVSX company, Justin went and looked at the code on their website before they launched pre-orders, and they spelt GameStop wrong and called it CameStop, which then caused a series of events to happen where someone went and created.
I don't know what he's talking about. So this is the GameStop exclusive information, and I don't see a
Flux shirt.
I
don't know. Maybe shirt. I don't either. Okay, who knows? All right. So, anyways, there's a whole website called thegamestop.com that's not real, by the way. But it's a real site, but it's not.
They sell T-shirts.
Yeah, it's not a real company. Like you can't go buy video games there, despite what it says.
They sell T-shirts like this one.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can get this shirt. And by the way, we are completely not 100% not affiliated with it at all. Like they done it. It's their own thing. Right. So thank you, How to Bachelor, for the super chat, buddy. It's very generous of you. And then Rhode Island apparently has restrictions about fluxing your tip. I didn't know that, but I'll keep that one in mind when I'm traveling to Rhode Island. All right. Wait,
yeah,
you can do that in every single
point, and that's the thing. Like being able to play board games with your family members is something that you can do on your phone and tablets. So not necessarily a good selling point. I'm sure there's a market for the infinity table. It's just,
but I do think truly it's like not our crowd. Like it's not like you come to this channel to talk about board games. You know what I mean? Like, or so for us, we're not going to spend a ton of time covering it because it's not really our scene, but I bet there are a bunch of people that are separate scenes somewhere else that are super excited for anything digitized board games, and they're going to flip out on it. Then they don't even care that
Remember,
it's on a phone because
we
they want
also
to do it on a big tablet. So I
we
get
also
that.
had that theory, remember, Ralph, that maybe it's not really Arcade One Up.
Oh,
That
I don't
some
think it is.
company came to Arcade One Up and said, "Hey, we have this thing called the Infinity Table, but we're nobodies. We'd love to partner with you and make it the Arcade One Up Infinity Table."
I totally believe that it either happened that way or the other way. Somehow it was Arcade One Up looking for that and then found the company, or that company went, wow, this company is trying to own your man cave kind of thing. Let's partner with them. It's not Arcade One Up created. There's no possible way of that. I think it's already been, I just don't think it is. I think most of the stuff they create is not made by them at all. It's actually,
Well, yeah,
they may have the idea in their head and they get the licensing and someone else builds it for them. I think that's pretty much almost always how it goes.
yeah,
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, we wouldn't have Star Wars and NBA Jam had it not been for Code Mystic. So pretty cool. They partner with the right people. You get quality. You get
yeah,
quality out of it.
yeah. They're doing something right. What are
Yeah.
you gonna do?
So the other thing we didn't talk about is
What's that?
we kind of know where we're at with Arcade One Up, although we still don't have release dates and we still don't have games lists. We just know they're partnered with Zen, and we know they have Star Wars, Marvel, and Attack from Mars. That's all we know, right? That's
Hmm.
all we know for right now. And we
Hmm.
know they're going to supposedly release all three before the end of the year. But we've seen them. We physically know what they, even though they're mock-ups, we have physically seen the Star Wars one, so we kind of can gather what it pretty much looks like.
Right.
The At Games one is still a mystery because we've only seen a spec sheet. We haven't seen a picture of it. So I don't know why we haven't seen a picture of it, but we know they're partnered with Farsight Studios, but we still don't know what games they're going to put on it as preloaded games. We know they're going to have Wi-Fi. We know Arcade One Up's not going to have
Hmm.
Wi-Fi. Whether that's an issue for you or not, I don't know. One's going to have DLC, one's not. But it's all kind of mysterious as we get
Yeah.
down to this finish line here. If both these companies plan on doing it before the end of the year, we're running out of time. So maybe we should ask the marketing director for both of these companies.
Yeah, I only wish that we had a way to be able to ask that marketing director exactly what
Hmm.
what it's going to be. How are we going to do that, Ralph? And I'm a really bad actor, by the way.
You're looking at right now the marketing director for both
Yep.
Arcade One Up Pinball and At Games Pinball. So we have the power in our hands to ask
This
any
is real.
question about these pinballs we want, and we will get an answer right now.
Yeah.
Like right now on the show.
And I want to tell you,
Exclusive, you might say.
this is the same thing they recently used to decide whether or not they were going to fix the firmware for Pac-Man. They were sitting on it for a while. A lot of people were complaining, and then I think it was Zohar. He finally spoke up and said, "We need a fix for the Miss Pac-Man," and they shook the 8 ball, and it said we have to fix it. So boom.
I mean, Vince has a good question. Why don't we just ask the director? He said, in your
Yeah.
opinion, do you think Arcade One Up dropped the ball? Well, why not just ask the source? So,
Yeah, let's find out.
did Arcade One Up drop the ball with a
Mhm.
24-inch screen on the V pin?
That's right. Let's see.
Can you see? I can't see it. It
No,
says
can't see it.
yes.
It
It
says
says yes. Wow, they're so
Oh.
honest. Well, that could have been the At Games. I didn't specify which director I was talking to, so it could have been At Games. All right. So, what other questions? All right. Will Farsight suck on At Games as they suck on PC? Okay, we'll ask.
Let's
All right.
find out.
Arcades, ask the question. Let's see. Oh, ask again later. Shall we ask again right now? Let's ask again right now. Let's
Okay.
see. All right. So, all right. Will Farsight suck on At Games as they suck on PC? Concentrate and ask again. They are avoiding the answer on this one.
See,
They're
I think that's a sign. We got to move on.
It could be a sign. All right.
It was all
I don't
like, nope, don't go there.
know. What? When I asked mom why I only have one sibling, she said dad went to GameStop. I don't get it. Okay, Jesus. Thank you for the super chat.
Oh my god.
All right. So, what other things do you think? Oh, Garage Gamer wants me to ask. I mean, they don't really have this much insight, but we could ask. So, will Ralph buy Golden Axe? Let's see. Now, by the way, I have not bought it still.
I have an idea. If it says yes, you need to do it.
It says most likely. It doesn't say yes. It says most
didn't say
likely. It
yes.
doesn't say
Okay.
yes.
All right.
All right. Clax29 says, is well played games truly legit? All right, it's asking. It says concentrate and ask again. Are you guys okay with me asking a separate second time?
Yeah,
Because it could
yeah.
be one of those things where they're trying to avoid the answer. Pretty hazy. Try again. Oh, reply hazy. Try again. That's weird. Why is it that all the tough questions this thing's literally not answering them? Why? That's crazy, right?
I don't know, man. It's a little scary. Like,
Let's ask one more time. Because
okay,
if it gives me a wishy-washy, and I'm
you
being
gotta
truthful on the
really
answers.
shake it every
All right.
every
What's the
direction,
question?
right?
Is at games? What was the question? It was about well played. Is well played game truly legit? Outlook good. Outlook good.
All
All
right.
right.
I think that's official.
All right. I say we got to ask the final questions.
Okay.
There's two big ones that everyone wants to know. Let's ask them one at a time.
Yep.
Will Arcade 1-Up release their pinball machine before the end of the year so that you can buy it and have it in your home before Christmas?
Yeah.
You guys ready for that?
Yep.
Most likely. Now, it didn't commit. So let's see what it says about At Games.
Sounds real.
Will At Games Pinball be available? I'm shaking the crap out of it before the end of the year. You may rely on it.
I don't buy
That's
that.
not wishy. Why is the... It's kind of crazy. No joke. It's kind of crazy that this won't give yes nos when we ask it tough questions. Like, it can't even tell us. It's supposed to know everything.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to ask me one more? Should we ask it together? Will either of these companies, we'll ask a final question one last time. Will either of these companies release these damn pinball machines before the end of the year?
Yeah. Let's find out.
As I see it, yes.
Yeah.
Still not that committal, though. Like, still kind of wishy-washy, but all right.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Well, that was kind of fun.
There's one last one. Maybe we can help Zohar out. Will he ever find a girlfriend? Zohar, now I don't want you to get triggered based on what the 8-ball says.
So, is there anyone in the chat that is that's a girl that wants to be Zohar's friend? Hit 1. We'll see if we can make a love connection. All right.
The 8-ball has actually said it is decidedly so. So you will find a girlfriend.
There you go. It has spoken. Has the ball ever said no?
Not yet. What is there anything else you guys want to ask it?
Is this like a rigged one?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Rasal just says he'll go out with you.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure he's married with kids, so we could have some potential issues with that. And he's in Canada, which is not very close to. I think he's more in Eastern, right? I think he's on the east side, so he's too far from Zohar. That would never work. It'd be a long.
He was hoping for a no.
It would be a long distance relationship. Like, I don't really think he wants
single
to do that.
for life, right? Ask the ball. This is good. Ask the ball if the ball's rigged.
All right, Magic 8-Ball or Director of Marketing for At Games and Arcade 1-Up, are you rigged? Oh, weird. It's doing the thing where it's like not telling me. Dude, that's weird. It's landing. You know how it's like a triangle in there or whatever? It's landing on a place where I can't read either one. Should I shake it one more time? Next time we have to have an Magic 8-Ball camera so you guys know I'm not messing around. It is decidedly so.
So, okay.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, Ralph.
What?
Close your ears. I'm gonna say it.
Close my ears?
Yeah, close your ears. Cover your eyes, because I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
I don't know what you're gonna say.
There's been enough evidence out there that Outrun is coming out that I'm gonna say it, and we're gonna get in trouble for it. Ralph's seen it. Ralph has seen the Outrun. It's real. I feel really bad because John D actually does watch the show sometimes.
All right, we're gonna move on.
They've leaked it enough, dude. They've leaked it enough. It's out.
Let's move on. Are there any? I'm not gonna.
Look at him.
Look at
him. Look at him. He's like, I don't want to get in trouble.
Come on, dude. All right. So, whatever. All right.
Who are you gonna trust? Me or this guy who's like?
All right,
you have your answer. You have your answer.
Will iArcade take the money and run? Oh, I guess I could ask it that. I hope not.
Okay. We haven't talked about iArcade much. We really hope that doesn't happen.
It
But
says no. It says no. That's good.
boom.
We're good.
Wow. That's crazy. It's the first time it said no.
I
And
know.
it
It
was
actually said no.
yeah.
I'm not joking. I am not making up the responses for it. We'll have an 8 ball. I'm not. Don't roll your eyes. I'll have an 8
No,
ball
no, no.
cam next time.
Was I rolling my eyes?
A little bit. You rolled them at me. You rolled your eyes. He's the worst liar ever. Did you look on the did
All right.
Did Ralph open up the MVSX?
Okay.
Outlook not so good.
Oh, so honesty time. Everybody opened up the NVSX. Everybody. Now, I think maybe Bob didn't. He was told not to, and I was chatting with him on Discord about it, and he's like, yeah, I'm not going to. He said he opened the back and he looked at it and he could describe it. There was other people, for example, there was a lot of people that were like, I don't know how we're going to put buttons and joysticks underneath. The whole thing slides out. No one went that far to unscrew it. We were super, super careful. You can totally unslide the front of the MVSX and gain access.
Can I say something that people
sticks.
didn't notice in my video? So guys, go back and watch the review I did. Right in the beginning of the review, and I cannot believe that because you guys are usually really like astute and you notice all these crazy things. But in the beginning of that video, I say we're gonna go for a ride to my storage unit, and I pull out a real Neo Geo.
I happen to have one.
Control panel, and I put it right next to the other one, but it was disconnected from the thing.
The control panel disconnected from the unit in his video.
And no one noticed it, which I can't believe. Not one person said anything. So basically, how you take out the control panel is really cool. This is very neat what they did. So it'd be super easy to change out the buttons and joysticks if you buy one of these things. There's 3 bolts on each side, so you take those little dust cover things off. You take those 3 screws out, and literally the front panel just pulls out of the front, and there's just a single ribbon cable, which is the exact, is it 8 pins? I can't remember if it's 8. Might be, is it 8 or 10? I can't remember.
What are you talking
or is it
about?
not even, the ribbon cable? It's whatever. It's the same amount of pins as an arcade 1-up ribbon cable. I can't remember how many it is now.
Yeah.
You pull that out, and you've got access to the whole thing. You could replace whatever you want. Super easy. And you could replace the speakers, too. They're mounted right there on the front.
And while we're deep in the episode, like, let's see, what else? If you wanted to mod it, you could...
you're not going to go that far.
It's got a 5x4 screen on it with LVDS, 30 pins, exactly like the Gen 1 Arcade 1-Up, but it's a higher quality monitor, so you can put a Pi in it following the same instructions of ETA Prime. Man, I've been holding on to that for a while. And the front panel, you can unscrew the little coin door. It actually has 2 screws, so you can remove it, but behind that is wood. So if you wanted to cover, you'd have to cover it with something, but someone could build a mold of something else that you could put there, theoretically.
Yep.
I think that's it. And the Ronald McDonald, there's so many people that don't know about this. This is crazy. As I go watch the reviews, a lot of people aren't saying, yeah, Sabo Arcades made that. Like, I think at this point, some people think that it's going to come with the Ronald McDonald marquee.
Yeah, all right.
I told Bob afterwards, he didn't even know. Like, after he done the video, I was like, that's from Sabo. And he's like, well, someone should have told me.
Will the MVSX come with the Ronald McDonald marquee? Why? It's such a politician, this thing. Outlook, not so good. Good, because people don't want that. But it looks cool. So
why is everyone saying one in the chat? What happened?
I think they think I'm going to sit here and talk about the Outrun.
Type 1 in the chat if you want Ralph to talk about Outrun. Here's the thing. There's nothing more to say. In our videos, there's already been all the information about it. Go watch Summer of Gaming.
In the Summer of Gaming podcast, he basically spells out the whole thing, and I'm pretty sure someone in the chat literally shows the games list, says the games list, and he basically confirms the games list. Yeah. So it's that same games list everyone keeps going out on, but the games you're going to get is Outrun and Outrun Turbo, which Outrun Turbo is pretty cool. So there you go. And then there was a couple super chats. Edwin said, is it sit down or stand up? I'm not going to answer that, but thank you for the super chat. And then Ben said, will Ralph mod Outrun? I don't know. So Outrun may be one of the cabinets. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to buy for review and then sell because I have a bunch. I have an actual racing cab. I have one in here. It's right there. There's no reason. I have all those games on there already. So there's really no reason for me to keep it unless it does something amazing that, but maybe I will mod it to show people how to mod it if that's possible. That could be cool. I swear to God, if it's true, talk about Outrun. Thank you for the super chat, Zohar. And then I don't know what else we got there. Refresh your memory. Yeah, Outrun Turbo, Power Drift. And then I think the other games were someone already said the games. So
but here's the thing.
That I don't know. They haven't said that.
Even if Ralph 100% saw it, there's still a chance that what he saw was a prototype. I mean, there's those videos online of Arcade 1-Up in their room, and behind them is a Street Fighter Live. And,
always look at what they publish, because they literally always have Easter eggs in their videos all over the place.
But it also doesn't mean they're ever going to release them.
Yeah. They just happen to film, I think, in their offices where they make prototypes and stuff. So you always see this stuff. Because I'll tell you this, guys, 100%. I was on a phone call with John D. It was over Zoom. It was with John D. and a company that they work with, Arcade 1-Up works with. And in the background, I saw like 3 things, one of which they ended up releasing. I saw the Miss Pac-Man countercade. This was a long time ago. And I'm like, dude, that's really cool. And he's like, basically you didn't see that. And obviously we had, I wasn't going to spill the beans on that because he told me not to. But there were a couple other things in the background, one of which is not released and I don't think they'll ever release. But I can't talk about that because I promised I wouldn't. But there's always stuff in the background. So just when you watch videos of theirs, there's always cool little fun things that you can kind of talk about and speculate on. I don't think there's going to be force feedback, but I can't confirm that myself. So if John D did say that, that's kind of a little bit of a bummer because force feedback for racing games is awesome. Like that Logitech, Justin and I had an episode where we were talking about it'd be cool if they partnered with Logitech because it's a G290 or G29. I can't remember the model. It's awesome and it's powerful. Like the force feedback is powerful. No, please don't, Zohar. Please don't. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not going to answer
that.
Here's
the thing. Even if he told you what he saw, it doesn't mean that's what it's actually going to be. So I tell you what, Ralph, I'm going to force this to end. We're at an hour mark. I'm going to do it. You're going to hate it.
Is there any last questions for the Magic 8 Ball? Is there one compelling question enough that you want to know so bad that you need to know the answer? If yes, throw them in the chat and we will pick one. Okay. But if you have one special question.
I will say this. I won't answer the question. Well, people are asking, was it a stand-up or not? So why don't we go with that?
But that's...
Was Outrun a stand-up machine or not? Let's ask the 8 Ball.
Was Outrun a stand-up machine? Magic 8 Ball. Concentrate and ask again. Was Outrun a stand-up machine? Most likely.
All right. And then if you watch the Summer Gaming video where we had John on, he does hypothetically answer that question. He said hypothetically, which I believe is just he answered the question. That's my guess, is a lot of times he would say hypothetically, and I think he was just saying the truth.
Hey, Justin, something came up real quick. Something came up real quick, and it's very critical that we address this.
Yes.
So IAR came said, please do not ask the Magic 8 Ball if the iArcade shipments have sunk in the Pacific. That is not the whole truth. Let's find out. Did the iArcade shipments sink somewhere in the Pacific Ocean? My God, I hope it answers the way we want it to answer. Don't count on it. See? They're good.
Yeah.
Good job.
Very good. All right, you guys ready for this? This one, we got a hold on a second. This one came by a request. I do a request now. So if you have a song that you want me to do at the end of our show, you can make the request. I have 3 lined up. And then this one is for Mike. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world. Closing time. Turn off all the lights on from every boy and every girl. call for alcohol, so finish your whiskey or beer. No, that's not how it goes, but you can't stay here. I know who I want, take me home. I know who I want, take me home. I know who I want, take me home, take me home. Closing time for you to go out to the places you will be from. Closing time, this room won't be open till your brothers or your sisters come. So gather up your jacket, move it to the exits. I hope you have found a friend. Closing time, every new beginning comes from some of the beginning's end. I know who I want, take me home. I know who wants to take me home. I know who wants to take me home, take me home. Closing time for you to go out to the places you will be from. I know who wants to take me home. I know who wants to take me home. I know who wants to take me home, take me home. Thank you so much for coming to our show. The One Up Weekly. Closing time. Every new beginning comes from some of the beginning's end. Yeah.
And we will see you on
the next one.
Click it.
What?
Click it.